Why are we wearing hockey jerseys, Greg?
It is mid-August, but it is hockey season.
A very short hockey season.
Very short, and hockey sweaters are very warm when it's August, which is why they don't play hockey in August.
Yeah, I know. That's why they're playing it in Canada, right?
That is definitely why they're playing in Canada.
All right. Well, this is the Produce Reporter Week in Review. I've been on vacation, so I have no idea what's going on, trying to stay unplugged. Greg, I hear you got some responses to food box inquiries, though. So what's going on with the food box?
Yeah, that's right. By the time we had recorded our week in review last week, and then it got published, by the next day, so the end of Friday, going into the weekend, the USDA reversed their decision that the food boxes had to be combo boxes with meat, produce, and dairy, so that it was possible to make a bid of just one of those items. And so, unfortunately, you missed all that great news. And so we covered that the first part of this week. And I wrote a column about it, and I talked to some people at United, and I talked to some people in the industry. Some of the people in the industry didn't want to be quoted by name because they had some strong opinions before the reversal. But then I also gave USDA a chance, and I give them credit. They turned around within about a day or so of me sending them some questions on some of the thought process they had. And I wrote a story about that and included some of their comments. I asked them point blank if they feel like they're communicating well enough with the produce industry before making these decisions, because it seems like if they're going to do something like make a combo box mandatory and then reverse it 2 weeks later, maybe they should have done a little better planning and not had to have done that. It reflects poorly on them. You do hope they finally make a good decision, which we think they did, but it didn't have to have come to that. They could have set it up where they prefer it, but it doesn't have to be mandatory, which is the way it is now. So I asked them if they feel like they're communicating well enough. They said they do think they're communicating well enough, and hopefully they're communicating more and maybe listening more and implementing more. And then another concern is that it's mid-August, and the July-August round of specifically produce boxes ends in 2 weeks, and September 1st, they're supposed to start with combo boxes. And the concern is whether or not the industry can get those out soon enough. That's pretty soon, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And USDA said they are confident that they will have them ready to go by September 1st.
You know,
so I hope they are.
I think maybe step one, and I'm just throwing this out here, communication would be better if it was not received at 5 o'clock on a Friday.
Yeah, in the news business, that's known as the late dump, when it's bad news and it's going into the weekend and it won't be taken. Now, we don't do that in our news business, but
no,
the mainstream news does that.
Yeah. And then we had the other thing you got a chance to do this week was kind of get a little idea of what Fresh Summit is going to look like, a little preview. What are some of the key highlights that you learned yesterday or on Wednesday during that preview?
PMA did a webinar for the industry and people who typically go to Fresh Summit, or whatever the broader audience, and kind of explained what it's going to look like and what the priorities are. And it's still pretty new. I would say it is a different platform than we've seen with other events. It will have a marketplace. Hopefully the people in the industry have gotten a little more comfortable with this format. One of the things it sounds like that is pretty unique, and I'm sure this is led by the buyer community, is that the buyer community is going to have the opportunity to basically have the equivalent of walking through the expo floor with booths that are empty, so they can gauge who's in here, who's got what, who do I want to line up meetings with. And they're encouraging in the weeks leading up to the mid-October 3-day event for especially the buying community to see who's there, set up meetings, have people who are exhibitors in the marketplace set up meetings. So when it's go time, it's not fumbling around figuring out what's going on. It's get going, start your meetings, everything, hit the ground running is the idea.
It sounds like they're giving them an opportunity to walk through the show with their badge turned around.
Yes, that is exactly it. They are. They get to walk through anonymously, and I'm sure that they got feedback from the industry that this is a solution that will help us be more efficient when the expo hours are open.
Yeah, and the last two big virtual events that we had, there is a little bit of a learning curve on figuring out how to interact with the platform and how to maximize your time, because a lot of the features of the virtual conference, like convening, getting together, are not conducive to the scatterbrained, I got to go look at all the booths thing. So it's giving you an opportunity to prioritize what you plan on doing, set up your meetings whenever they need to be set up, but then also be able to attend the live chats and the live sessions and things like that that are going on. So it sounds like a decent idea, and we're all still figuring this out.
We are, and people should check out the story we have on our website to get more of the detail, and I'm sure that PMA will be updating its Fresh Summit link, that we have a link to our story to go to that page on the PMA site. They will add details to it. They didn't have much detail in the education program, only to say that they would have one and it would be robust. And then there also will be ways to mingle and network, like we've had at some of the other events. So that's always good.
This is definitely incentive for people who are boothing to really get their ducks in a row early, which can be a challenge for people who are, I don't know whether it's left-brained or right-brained, the ones who design all the marketing materials. That's going to be a challenge. For people who really want to put a pizzazzy booth together to make sure they have it ready for the buyers, that's going to mean some hustle.
Yeah, it will. There's 2 months to go, plenty of time.
2 months to go. Actually, Matt, we're mid-August, man. If they're gonna let buyers go through early, that's like 6 weeks maybe to get that stuff together.
Hey, if USDA can turn around food boxes and make decisions and turn stuff around that quickly, private industry's got no excuse.
For sure. Well, that's it for an abbreviated Produce Reporter Week in Review. I'll be back in the office next week, so you'll be hearing from me. And if you are not getting the Produce Reporter newsletter, you need to go to producebluebook.com and sign up.
And we will cheer on our #1 seed flyers, and maybe they'll meet them in the finals.
Maybe. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
It'd be a good game. See ya.